Alright, Magic Geeks, get ready for the best thing ever. About 3 weeks ago, I promised to deliver on the MTG Deck Analyzer, and that's mtg.deckanalyzer.com for those of you who are not familiar. I promised to deliver really one of the coolest features that I think we've got here. And there's already some really awesome stuff here, like the ability to multi-categorize cards. To say that this card, for example, satisfies 3 different strategies or tactics, and then to give like overall odds, like that stuff is really cool in and of itself. But this is by far way cooler. It's so cool, I'm not even speaking proper English. It's the pruning suggestions. That's right. If you have more than 60 cards in your deck, between 61 and 99, we will tell you which cards to take out to optimize this probability of perfection and this land fulfillment and this sort of potency, which is a secret formula which pretty soon will not be secret because it's not really supposed to be a secret. I just haven't made a video about it specifically yet. Yeah, we'll tell you which cards to take out, and we'll even give you links to take those cards out auto-magically. You can apply that right to this deck, or you can create a new deck which will copy this deck minus those cards, and then you can go and rename it something, because after those suggestions are there, it's no longer just Bruce, it is now Bruce, like the Destroyer of Worlds or something. It's something really awesome, whatever it is. And first thing I'll just point out real quick is that the cards that it told us to take out, it didn't actually take them out of the list, it just zeroed the quantities. So if you have kind of an oops moment, no worries, the cards are still there. You don't have to remember what you took out, you just go look at the ones with the 0 quantities and put them back in. But then when we look at the analysis, we should see some improvement. And sure enough, there's a 5 percentage point improvement here, and on the land fulfillment sort of mana efficiency front, we're doing better by about a turn per CMC breakdown. So that's pretty good, that's pretty awesome. I didn't even have to think about which cards to take out. I didn't have to line them up on a table. And and when I think about what's in this deck just kind of generally, the cards that it told me to take out, Cliffhaven Vampire, yeah, given this deck list as it is, let's see, Hornet Queen. Like the Hornet Queen is great, but compared to the other stuff in this deck, I'm okay losing that. These dual name cards, I don't know what to do about them, man. They don't come in right. So let me also show you an example of one where the experience is slightly different. And so in this deck, we have this return dead things tactic. So Gravedigger, rescue from the underworld, even Liliana brings things back from the graveyard. Palace Siege, if you do cons, returns things from the graveyard to your hands. And so there's also things in here like Merciless Executioner, which I've got marked as a disruptor card. And the idea is, I'm going to play them. Everybody's got to sacrifice a creature, including me, and I'm going to sacrifice this Merciless Executioner thinking, oh, he'll come back from the graveyard, and I'll just get to keep doing that, And when I look at the analysis, when I look at those pruning suggestions, I see 3 of my Merciless Executioners are on this list, and a Fleshbag Marauder, which is totally wrong. Like that is absolutely not what I want. And so when you see that, as you're playing with this, I want you to look for those types of things and think, all right, why is that on that list? Go look at those cards and see, like, if this is really that important of a card, am I missing something here from this tactic list? And in this case, yeah, as I think about that, I've got this return dead things tactic. Like, this isn't just a disruptor, it's a disruptor that comes back. It's a persistent disruptor. It's a thing to be returned from the dead. And so, like when you see something on that list that doesn't make a lot of sense, you're probably missing a tactic, or you probably haven't put a card in a tactic. So let's just say persistent creatures. You know, things that come back from the dead. I know what that means. We just talked about it, so you guys know what that means. So it's fine. We'll just call them persistent creatures, and let's say we want one by turn 5. It's fine. And then we go and we add this guy, and we add our Fleshbag Marauder, and we add Priest of the Bloodright. He's a persistent creature because when he comes out with a 5/5 Black Demon token with flying, which is awesome. So these are all cards that I might want to pull out of the graveyard as many times as I can and kill off as many times as I can and just keep cycling. Right, so now when we look at those pruning suggestions, they are much more sane. We've got things here that, yeah, I am totally fine taking out. Vampiric Rites, not bad, but doesn't compare to like anything else in terms of value added to this deck. Squelching Leeches, also really awesome, and it makes me a tiny bit sad to take those out. But if we apply these to a new deck and we look at the new analysis, we're at 58% versus 48%. That's a 10% increase in like the odds of landing a perfect game. We're still a little bit low on these persistent creatures, and so we might want to think about what else to put in here. But like we've gone up 10% overall. Our land fulfillment has improved by about a turn per breakdown here, which is really awesome. And so I think this did pretty well, actually. So I encourage you all to go put your decks in if they're not already in there. Take a look at the new pruning suggestion feature. Ask questions if you want to know what it's doing under the covers, or make suggestions if you think that it's miscategorizing things, or if this sparks any ideas. Please let me know. Leave your comments. Give me a like. Give me a subscribe, please, and then share this with your friends so they can see the awesomeness as well. Thank you.